Going to pick up where we left off yesterday for day 8 of our Read Through the Bible 2019. We're going to start in Genesis chapter 25 and read 25 and 26. Where we pick up is shortly after the death of Sarah. And so Abraham has had his servant select a wife for Isaac. So Isaac and Rebekah recently married, Abraham recently widowed. Abraham took another wife, whose name was Keturah. To him, or she bore him Zimran, Lokshan, Medan, Midian, Ishbak, and Shua. Jokshan fathered Sheba and Dedan. The sons of Dedan were Ashurim, Letushim, and Letumim. The sons of Midian were Ephah, Ephur, Hanok, Abida, and Eldah. All these were the children of Keturah. Abraham gave all he had to Isaac. But to the sons of his concubines, Abraham gave gifts. And while he was still living, he sent them away from his own son Isaac eastward to the east country. These are the days of the years of Abraham's life, 175 years. Abraham breathed his last and died in a good old age, an old man and full of years, and was gathered to his people. Isaac and Ishmael, his sons, buried him in the cave of Machpelah in the field of Ephron, the son of Zohar the Hittite, east of Mamre, the field that Abraham purchased from the Hittites. There Abraham was buried with Sarah his wife. After the death of Abraham, God blessed Isaac his son, and Isaac settled at Beer Lahairoi. These are the generations of Ishmael, Abraham's son, whom Hagar the Egyptian, Sarah's servant, bore to Abraham. These are the names of the sons of Ishmael, named in order of their birth: Nebaioth, the firstborn of Ishmael, and Kedar, Abdil, Mibsam, Mishma, Duma, Masa, Hadad, Tema, Jeter, Naphish, and Kedemah. These are the sons of Ishmael, and these are their names, by their villages, by their encampments, 12 princes according to their tribes. These are the years of the life of Ishmael. 137 years he breathed his last and died, and was gathered to his people. They settled from Havilah to Shur, which is opposite Egypt in the direction of Assyria. He settled over against all his kinsmen. Now these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham fathered Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah, the daughter of Bethuel, the Aramean of Padan Aram, the sister of Laban the Aramean, to be his wife. And Isaac prayed to the Lord for his wife because she was barren. And the Lord granted his prayer. Lola, come on. And the Lord granted his prayer, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived. The children struggled together within her. And she said, "If it is thus, why is this happening to me?" So she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said to her, "Two nations are in your womb, and the peoples and two peoples from within you shall be divided. One shall be stronger than the other, and the older shall serve the younger." When her days to give birth were completed, behold, there were twins in her womb. The first came out red, all his body like a hairy cloak, and they called his name Esau. Afterward, his brother came out with his hand holding Esau's heel, so his name was called Jacob. Isaac was 60 years old when she bore them. When the boys grew up, Esau was a skillful hunter, a man of the field, while Jacob was a quiet man dwelling in tents. Isaac loved Esau because he ate his game, but Rebekah loved Jacob. Once when Jacob was cooking stew, Esau came in from the field, and he was exhausted. And Esau said to Jacob, "Let me eat some of that red stew, for I'm exhausted." Therefore his name was called Edom. Jacob said, "Sell me your birthright now." Esau said, "I'm about to die. What is use as a birthright to me?" Jacob said, "Swear to me now." So he swore to him and sold his birthright to Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and apple stew. And he ate and drank and rose and went his way, and thus Esau despised his birthright. Now there was famine in the land, besides the former famine that was in the days of Abraham. And Isaac went to Gerar, to Abimelech, king of the Philistines. And the Lord appeared to him and said, "Do not go down to Egypt. Dwell in the land of which I shall tell you. Sojourn in this land, and I will be with you and bless you. For to you and to your offspring." Lola, hey. She doesn't. "To you and to your offspring I will give these lands, and I will establish the oath that I swore to Abraham your father. I will multiply your offspring as the stars of the heaven, and will give to your offspring all these lands. And in your offspring all the nations of the earth shall be blessed, because Abraham obeyed my voice and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws. So Isaac settled in Gerar. When the men of the place asked him about his wife, he said, "She is my sister." For he feared to say my wife, thinking lest the men of this place should kill me because of Rebekah, because she was attractive in appearance. When he had been there for a long time, Abimelech, king of the Philistines, looked out of a window and saw Isaac laughing with Rebekah his wife. So Abimelech called Isaac and said, "Behold, she is your wife. How could you say she is my sister?" Isaac said to him, "Because I thought, lest I die because of her." Abimelech said, "What is this you have done to us? One of the people might easily have lain with your wife, and you would have brought guilt upon us." So Abimelech warned all the people, saying, "Whoever touches this man or his wife shall surely be put to death." And Isaac sowed in that land and reaped in the same year 100-fold. The Lord blessed him. The man became rich and gained more and more until he became very wealthy. He had possessions of flocks and herds and many servants, so that the Philistines envied him. Now the Philistines had stopped and filled with earth all the wells that his father's servants had dug out in the days of Abraham his father. So Abimelech said to Isaac, "Go away from us, for you are much mightier than we." So Isaac departed from there and encamped in the valley of Gerar and settled there. And Isaac dug again the wells of water that had been dug in the days of Abraham his father, which the Philistines had stopped after the death of Abraham. And he gave them the names that his father had given them. But when Isaac's servants dug in the valley and found a well of spring water, the herdsmen of Gerar quarreled with Isaac's herdmen, saying, "The water is ours." So he called the name of the well Esek, because they contended with him. Then they dug another well, and they quarreled over that also. So he called the name of it Sitnah, and he moved from there and dug another well, and they did not quarrel over it. So he called its name Rehoboth, saying, "For now the Lord has made room for us, and we shall be fruitful in the land." From there he went up to Beersheba, and the Lord appeared to him the same night and said, "I am the God of Abraham your father. Fear not, for I am with you, and will bless you and multiply your offspring for my servant Abraham's sake." So he built an altar there and called upon the name of the Lord and pitched his tent there, and there Isaac's servants dug a well. When Abimelech went to him from Gerar with Ahuzath his advisor and Phicol the commander of his army, Isaac said to them, "Why have you come to see me, seeing that you hate me and have sent me away from you?" They said, "We see plainly that the Lord has been with you." So we said, "Let there be a sworn pact between us, between you and us, and let us make a covenant with you that you will do us no harm, just as we have not touched you and have done nothing to you but good, and have sent you away in peace. You are now the blessed of the Lord." So he made them a feast, and they ate and drank. In the morning they rose early and exchanged oaths, and Isaac sent them on their way, and they departed from him in peace. That same day Isaac's servants came and told him about the well that they had dug, and said to him, "We found water." He called it Sheba. Therefore the name of the city is Beersheba to this day. When Esau was 40 years old, he took Judith the daughter of Beeri the Hittite to be his wife, and Basemath the daughter of Elon the Hittite, and they made life bitter for Isaac and Rebekah. All right, so just a couple things we see. First of all, we have the passing of two more key figures who will continue to be key figures through their offspring, Abraham and his son Ishmael. We see Esau and Jacob coming on the scene, and so we'll see struggle between them. Esau will be the head of the Edomites, who will be a thorn in the side of the Israelites. And so as the narrative is progressing, the covenant with Abraham is reaffirmed to Isaac. The same thing told to Abraham was told to Isaac: "Through you all the nations of the earth will be blessed." And so we have something to expect. It hasn't revealed exactly how all the nations of the earth will be blessed, but it says that they will. And so there's an anticipation that's there. Every birth of every son is a potentiality. One thing that people ask about, what's the deal with Esau who's a man of the field. He's a man of the of hunting. He's not into staying and keeping the house and overseeing the affairs of such a large. Really, it would be like a large corporation these days. The household of Abraham that became the household of Isaac. So Isaac's got these two sons, Esau and Jacob. Says Esau sold his birthright. Now the question is, what did he sell? Obviously, it's his birthright. What's his birthright? So the firstborn son, his birthright, he didn't sell the entirety of his inheritance. The birthright was a double portion. And so the firstborn son would get a double inheritance, and all the other children would get half of what the firstborn son did. So his birthright was essentially that second half. What he got that for was he was responsible. It fell to him to oversee his father's household upon his father's passing, to take care of his mother, to take care of his father's servants. And so that's what that resource was for. So Esau basically says, I don't want that. If you were Bill Gates's kid and he says, hey, I can leave you half of whatever billions of dollars I have, or rather a third, because you got an older brother or a younger brother, you can either have 2/3 of however many billions of dollars, but you got to run Microsoft, or you can have 1/3, you can go your way. It's not an irrational decision to take the large chunk of money and ditch the responsibility. Lots of people would consider doing that. What's frowned upon here is where it says Esau despised his birthright. It's not just a responsibility, it's a privilege. And he is shirking his responsibility to his father, to his mother, casting it off on somewhere else. And so he's going to regret this. But what's done is done. He says, yeah, you know what? For temporary, what I can have now, I'll forego being what I'm supposed to be and doing what I'm supposed to do. And so we see the type of person that he was, at least in that moment. He was thinking very short-sightedly. So any questions, comments, let me know. I do get comments actually on personal messages. If you want to throw them in the comments on this, that would be helpful as well. Either way, I don't care. I'm just happy that people listen and watch, and we'll see you guys tomorrow, where we will go through Genesis 27 to 29. Bear in mind, by the end of this month, I mean it's the 8th. By the end of this month, we will be through Genesis, through Exodus, and one chapter into Leviticus. And so it's interesting, of all of the books of the Bible, that it takes a whole month, 1/12 of the year, to get through. Turn that alarm off. To get through just 2 of them. And so we're going to pick up the pace, really starting in about March. By the time we get to October, we're going to be flying. So thanks a lot, and see you guys tomorrow.